Welcome everyone to Mad Lions versus PSG. Spoilers for that game if you haven't seen it yet. Here at 2250, the teams are really neck and neck. So Maple lands the E onto Renekton, and Junja comes in on the Wukong to get the R engaged, but when Maple casts the E2 to go in, we have this beautiful airborne by Alvaro to keep the Akali out, and then she's just popped instantly. Then we have a beautiful Skarner R over the wall. Camille R to lock down Aji. So one of the things about Akali is she can look like that, where if she gets her spells off and she can get in the Shroud, she can do so much, but if she just gets CC'd one time, that can be lights out for her. So really feast or famine champ, kind of like a Jace or Yone or something. So that means that she's one of those champs that can look really good when you're playing teams that are worse than you, but if you're playing teams that are really good and have supports like Alvaro, it can be much harder to play these champs. And Junja on Wukong is actually also one of those champs in a different way, where Wukong does very little damage. He doesn't really do much, except that he has an amazing R for CC in a team fight. So if you are a little bit behind, or if the other team is much better than you, it can be really hard to get anything done on Wukong because you're leaning so much on the rest of your team to do the damage. And so together, having Akali and Wukong on your team is like super snowbally, and if that team comp falls behind, you're in big trouble. Then here again, Maple's going to underestimate the CC the enemy team has when he goes over the wall. I mean, he was never really going to accomplish that much because even Supa's got plenty of HP, but he's really in trouble because he doesn't realize that Camille still has the R, and so even in the Shroud, Supa's just throwing things randomly and gets the kill. So Maple potentially used to playing Akali versus teams that aren't as good, maybe struggling a little bit now that the teams he's playing against are better. And Mad Lions is then able to snowball that lead into a 9k gold lead, and game over. So overall, just outplaying PSG in this first game. If you watch my team tier list video, I was one of the people saying that I thought PSG was worse than any major region team, including 100 Thieves and Mad Lions. So this is some evidence to that point. We'll see if the major league teams continue to be able to beat PSG. Here, PSG have actually managed to get a 2.3k gold lead up on Mad Lions, but we start to see a little bit of the nerves and a little bit of the shakiness come in this team fight. So we see Gnar up here, gets the Mega Gnar, but when he flashes into R, Fresskowy on the Syndra ease him away, and so when he casts the R, he hits nobody at all. Then when he stuns up the Syndra, Woody here on the Leona tries to follow up with the R, but actually misses the R. I mean, that's a pretty bad hitbox, because it looks like it should hit, but you can see completely misses that. Fresskowy is not stunned. They are slowed, which means that maybe it had to do with the elevation of the ramp, but the chain CC couldn't be there. Flashes out to safety, and they can't really get anything done in this fight, despite what should have been really good setup. Alvaro playing absolutely amazing this series. Here we see some amazing dodging as he comes in on this engage, dodges RE and Q, flash in, engage, and the Ari's instantly popped. Alvaro is a monster this series. Ultimately, though, PSG keep their gold lead, still about 2.3k gold up, and then get this amazing fight where you see Mad Lions just split left and right, and there's this huge wall in the way. They can't team fight at all. Even the amazing Alvaro is not enough to save this. Mega Gnar comes in, MF ult comes up over the top. Way too much. From these kills, they're able then to take the Baron, and then eventually build that gold lead and go for the win here. So really good fighting back from PSG, especially Maple looking a lot stronger on the Ahri than the Akali. In game 3 here, such a fun Aurora ult to try to escape here from Mirwin. Doesn't end up working because the Skarner's there to catch him, but oh, it would have been so cool. Such a fun use of the Aurora ult. Extremely close game here at 18 minutes, within 700 gold of each other. And here, Supa has an amazing outplay. Flashes out, hitting all the damage. LeBlanc flashes away from the true shot barrage. And then here, Supa has no vision, just pure prediction, thinks it's a LeBlanc, it's probably coming over the wall, throws the W, and has the auto locked and loaded, so that as soon as the LeBlanc comes in range, the auto comes off. Amazing predict by Supa. Here, PSG actually 1.5k gold up, but this is the fight that'll break open the game for Mad Lions. Maple, too ambitious on this LeBlanc. Another amazing engage from Alvaro. Follows him into the Vex R, stun from the Vex, fleeing. And then when Vex tries to escape, this Jarvan jumps in to finish it off. Just throwing everything they have at the LeBlanc. Leaves them in a 5v4. And they just clean it up from there. And then take the Baron off of this. And that is the beginning of the end in this game. So once again, Alvaro playing well. Maple, some nerves on stage. And one champ you really don't want to have when you're 3k gold behind is LeBlanc. You can see she's only level 15. She has no kills. One of the worst champs from behind. You can see her try to tickle this jungler. That's the damage output you're looking at here. Here's the last stand fight, and again we see that LeBlanc does very little in this type of front-to-back team fight, especially if you miss the skill shot like that. Just no damage coming out here. So little damage. By the time he gets that pick, his entire team is dead. At the same time, on the other side of the fight, Aja just completely stuck on the other side of the wall, not even in range to hit anyone. He's just completely blocked off. He might do even less damage than LeBlanc. By the time either of them do anything, they've sacrificed all three of their teammates. And so that's a Mad Lions win. So they're going to the Swiss stage, but I still don't know if they're necessarily at that level of a Team Liquid or a FlyQuest or a Fnatic. I don't think they quite are, but we'll see how they perform. It'll be really exciting. As for PSG, I think we're starting to see some nerves, maybe some cracks when they're up against a little bit stronger teams. So they'll really have to fight their way out of play-ins now and see what they do in the next round. That's all for this video. Make sure to subscribe to catch all the videos, and thanks so much for watching.